What's up, hungry people? Today's video, what is the best fruit for constipation? And hands down, the best fruit for constipation on earth has to be yellow dragon fruit. I don't know if you guys have ever tried a yellow dragon fruit. If you haven't, you don't know what you're missing. Some people would be afraid of this fruit. That's how powerful it is at clearing out your digestive system. So I have 3 of them here. Usually if you have one, you might not notice too much of a difference. And if you have too many, you could be on the toilet for throughout the whole day. And you don't really want that. You don't want that chronic diarrhea. So you're going to try to avoid that. My digestion's pretty good, pretty strong. I've been working at digestion as my main obstacle for many, many years. And I don't have a problem right now, but I am in the mood to eat some delicious fruit. So I decided on having the exotic yellow dragon fruit. If you guys are interested in finding yellow dragon fruit, you can usually get them at like Whole Foods or Asian markets. And I know that my friends, Adele Ray and Leo, the crew at Miami Fruit, they sell exotic fruits and usually they will have some dragon fruits. So let's just get into it because I am ready to eat this one. See, I prefer them when they're flatter and they're more plumped up versus this one's more like a pine cone. So I don't know how they're going to be, but let's find out. And they're so beautiful on the inside. Take a look at this. It's got like a white flesh and lots of little black seeds. Here's the thing. This fruit is so sweet. If you have the other types of dragon fruits, which I'm happy to try and do reviews of on here as well, just to give you guys a wide palette understanding of exotic fruits. But let me just take my first bite. This is by far my favorite type of dragon fruit. It is so good. If you like sweet fruits and you like something more water rich, almost like a watermelon or slushy, to me, this tastes like lemonade. Like if you juice this, it would be almost like a lemonade. So delicious. But for the topic today, I mean, constipation, you probably couldn't find something more common than constipation as a health issue that people are facing today. I mean, that and sleep issues have to be the top tier problems. So why don't we discuss some solutions as I eat? Here's the thing. There's going to be 2 main avenues to go about improving your digestion. One of them is your overall hydration, whether that's with water, juices, fruits, hydration on the cell level, the communication of your cells. You have to get more hydrated because if you're all dried out, how can this fecal matter move through you? Because when it goes from the small intestine to the large is what's the beginning of removal at the end of the process. And that's where it starts to pull water out of this waste because it wants to form a solid elimination or a more formed elimination, right? And if you're dehydrated and it's already barely getting through you as it is, when it gets to that stage, if it's already drier, it's going to pull out more water and it's going to be sitting there and you're going to feel frustrated and angry. And you're going to feel like you want to yell at the top of your lungs or push really hard, which is never good, right? So we want to focus on being hydrated. How do we do that? Let's talk about it. I feel weird eating on camera. I always feel really, really judged on 2 different things: eating, the way that I eat, and taking photos with other people. It feels like the most awkward thing. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but my big thing. So good. Already making a mess. Okay, how do we get more hydrated? The number one, in my opinion, failure on a raw vegan diet is people don't drink water. Now, if you're just have no issues at all, you feel amazing and you couldn't even fathom feeling better, then maybe you don't need water and you don't drink water, maybe you don't need it. For sure. I mean, you are getting hydrated in a certain way that's different compared to if you were just eating, white rice, pasta, these more dry foods, potato chips, snacks. But you're really missing an opportunity to improve your gut health if you're not drinking water first thing in the morning or some type of like herbal tea. Because if you just wait all night until the morning and then you have your first meal of fruits, you have to understand the body has been eliminating things all night. It's ready to have a bowel movement. Um, it's ready to finally get hydrated after 10, 12, 15 hours of not having anything. And if you just put even some juicy fruits in, the thing is you probably are going to have dry mouth and you're probably going to have some weak stomach acid because there's not enough fluid going on. When you put the water in, it gets to enhance all those processes. You get to wash your palate clean so that when you put the fruit in, now it's not sticking to your teeth. Now it's not having this prolonged sugary metabolism, which feeds the negative bacteria in your mouth, right? So if we put water in first, it primes everything. It primes our mouth, it primes our esophagus, it primes our stomach acid, and helps. It doesn't dilute it in the sense that when you put the next thing in, now you're not going to be able to digest it. What it does is it regulates it, and then after 15 or 30 minutes, now it's primed for when you do put that food in, because you don't drink the water down, then eat the meal right away, right? So it's also going to go into your digestive tract, into your cells, and now it's going to hydrate some of that more drier fecal matter in your body and prime it to leave. And you want that out of you. It's also going to take a lot of burden off your kidneys. Your kidneys have been circulating and filtering all this blood and lymph for hours. It's time to give them a tool to push it out, because if not, it's just sitting there. Everything's just starting to get hot and burning up. And if you're someone who gets really, really hot, probably dehydrated. Okay, so the first tip is water. Get some good water. Have some in the morning, anywhere from 16 to 32 ounces, or have some good tea. Tea can be really good as well, because when you have the tea, the hot water is more likely to go to the digestive tract, whereas when you're drinking the water, sure, it goes to the bowels as well, but a majority of it's just going to be processed by the kidneys. So it can be really nice to have like room temperature water or a hotter liquid, and that way it's also going to other areas of the body. All right, let's dive into another one, because that was probably it was actually really good. Surprisingly, I didn't think it would be the way that it looked. But look at this. I mean, this is the gold. It's really, really nice looking. The thing is, fruit does take the cake for the most pretty food. I mean, I am all about the green juice and the salads, but fruit is beautiful and is very appealing to the eye and the senses. And these little fucking thorn things. There's actually these little thorn things that have been stabbing me. We'll avoid that. Okay, so we have hydration down, because here's the other thing. Plenty of people are also drinking lots of water, and then they're just eating foods that are just so dry. I mean, try eating a loaf of bread 3 days in a row and you're going to be so constipated. Or just eat white rice without any tomatoes or vegetables or sauces, and very, very quickly you're probably, unless you're just so fit, you're probably going to get backed up pretty fast. So let's take a bite. See, this one's like, the other one was good. I was surprised, and this one's like way, way better. Cool. So we also have to keep in mind the foods that we put into our body affect our levels of hydration. And we're going to get more into gut health and how to fix that, and cool and soothe elimination, all these types of things. If you guys actually have any topics of interest, have any questions or protocol needs or ideas, or wanting me to review certain things, I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to make a video about that. Just feel free to leave a comment down below, and I will get to that as soon as I can. But now let's switch over to the other aspect that goes into good elimination and how to avoid constipation, and that is your nervous system. That is your glands and your nervous system. Because when we're in this chronic state of fight or flight, it's really difficult to be able to relax and move your bowels. So good. So how do we relax? We live in this world where, if you're living in the United States like I am, which is, I think, a great place to live. I have no problems with it. I have problems with the way that I'm living, and I'm working towards bettering that, right? But things can always be improved. The main thing you have to look at is you're getting quality sleep. Sleep is everything. I remember when I was graduating high school, I was starting to have sleep problems, and this really made my digestive problems so much worse. If you're not getting good sleep, I'm going to make a video about how to get the best sleep, how to create a routine around sleep, how to wake up feeling refreshed. But just know, if you're constipated, it might not even be your food. You might just need to get better sleep. And the other thing is, you have to have a point where you get to collect yourself in the day. What do I mean by that? Well, we're designed to sleep twice a day. We're designed to have a nap during the day and at least downshift. So whether you have a break at work or you get out early or you work later, at the midday, you really try to unwind. You don't have to necessarily sleep. Sit outside in the sun, breathe some fresh air, have your feet in the ground, just really decompress a little bit. And then that way you have a fighting chance to get through the rest of the day if you're not feeling your best. So those are the two big takeaways. Got to relax, got to make sure you get good sleep, and eat some foods and drink fluids so that you're hydrated enough to move that dry matter through you. If you go to the store today, let's say you're dehydrated right now and you're underslept right now, right? And it's, when I release this, it'll probably be like 11 a.m. in the morning. What you could do is go get a good source of water, some distilled water, some filtered water, some aquaponic spring water, whatever. Drink that down, take your time, sip on it, drink it down. Go and buy 2 of these. Eat 2 of these about 30 minutes after you've had your water. That probably will be enough to get you to go that day. And if not, at the very least, first thing in the morning the next day. And when you wake up the next day, if you don't go right away, just wake up and sip some water for the first 30 minutes and then watch it start to flow out. Now, if you're in a chronic state of constipation, you just really need as much support as you can get. This stuff right here, this is called Trafala. And it is made from 3 different fruits. It's organic, it's non-GMO. This stuff, it's in capsules. If you take 2 or 3 before bed with some water or some tea or something, this is not going to give you diarrhea. This is going to help you to form really healthy, consistent bowel movements. You're going to feel lighter. My cousin Will, who's been on the Hungry People podcast or he's been interviewed, this is like his go-to, because sometimes he gets anxious or sometimes he's traveling or, life just happens and we start to get stressed and constipated and dehydrated. And this is his go-to. His girlfriend told me just that this is his go-to. He loves it. Trafala, you can go to Whole Foods and Mom's Organic or Wegmans, or, you could just go on Amazon. It's like $20, $15, and you don't even have to use it forever. You just use it. You get 2 capsules for 45 servings. Excuse me. And what that'll do is prime you so that when you stop using it, your GI tract is already clean enough and functioning well enough that you don't become dependent on it. Because we don't want to become dependent on these harsh things that push and rip out of our body, right? These laxatives and type things. We want to restore the integrity of our bowels. And we also want to feel good and relaxed and calm and know that when we wake up and know that when we sit on the toilet, we're actually going to feel very relieved. So I'm going to eat the rest of this off camera. Not sure how you guys like this one. I think that's such an important topic. I'm going to be making many videos on how to improve the quality of your digestion, uptake, elimination, metabolism, and utilization of nutrients. But I hope that you found something in here helpful. If you ever feel overwhelmed and confused, please reach out. It's not a big deal. and we could talk about how to have some better digestive health. This is AJ from the Hungry People podcast, and I hope that you enjoy. I want to remind you to stay regular and stay hungry.